Good morning, everyone. I hope y'all are doing well. Shucks, it might even be evening when you're watching this. Whatever it is, I hope it's good. I hope you're doing all right. I hope things are going well. Hope you're enjoying, finding new seas every day. We're always moving forward. Even if it's just a little bit, you might not quite notice it. Sometimes open seas start to all look alike and you get confused. Um, but if that's happening, just don't worry about that because that's real common, man. You're moving forward no matter if it feels like it or if it don't. There's a lot of real subtle things going on all the time. That's kind of what I wanted to get into today, man. People talk about spirituality and religion. And I'm just trying to figure out what's going on there because you ain't really seeing none of that. So sometimes it seems like people talking a whole bunch of nonsense, when you're not really seeing what you're talking about. It's kind of an interesting thing. It's like, what are you talking about? What's going on? But man, I done had some experiences in my life that really showed me there is a subtler uh, energy thing going on. There's a situation that you're in, but then there's subcurrents under that. And even like with behavior, man, a lot of behavior is, conditioned through your life. And I think, we don't always know what's going on, why we're, going to the fridge at 2 a.m. to, get a popsicle. But I think there's subtler energy going on. And today I just wanted to, I don't know, see if we could tune into that, explore that a little bit. And everybody knows about their body. We all got these bodies we got to deal with as human beings, but I think we tend to forget or neglect, or maybe we ain't even never learned about our subtle body, man. I think we got a lot of, there's different traditions. I think, some people talk about we got like 7 layers. I heard 8 layers of energy fields outside of our normal body. So I mean, what's going on there? And I think y'all understand, like, we gotta. I think no matter who you are, you understand the sense of an aura, even if you don't think it's nothing physical. It's kind of conceptual. Someone real sad walks into the room, you got a sense of, man, this guy's sad, man. You can feel that without him even telling you he's sad because he's emanating just sadness. And I think that comes out at a certain vibration. But yeah, man, there's a lot of things you can do to start to become a little more tuned into these subtler fields and these subtler energies. I think one thing real powerful is even just, silence. I think we're really neglecting silence these days. We like our music real loud, you know what I mean? And not just our music real loud. We like our meals real loud. We like our, our video games and our pretty much everything. We like it loud. We don't like moments of silence. They feel a little weird and awkward because we got all this space that we're used to having filled. But the thing with having that space filled all the time is that you start to become desensitized to subtler energies because you're used to it being so loud. If you listen to your music too loud all the time, your ears are gonna get worn out, and you're not gonna even be able to hear quieter sounds because you done been busting, you done been busting them eardrums just too much. So there's a lot of things you can do, man. Sitting in silence. There's a practice in yoga called pratyahara. And that is, I think, a real powerful tool that sometimes seems like, it's the most useless thing ever, because we're very driven by our senses as human beings, But, that runs us into all sorts of problems. So you got to be careful with them senses, man. They'll tell you something that it ain't. And we're trying to figure out what it is, But pratyahara, man, it's a withdrawal of the senses. You close your eyes and you start realizing, what's going on inside. You might have not even been knowing that it's raining inside your body until you close your eyes and you say, dang, what is going on in here, man? There's a lot of precipitation. Oh, Lord. Oh, that's right. Man, I'm really whooping some booty. Playing some FIFA here. But yeah, man, withdrawal the senses, I think we're kind of addicted, and I think we think, our senses are the only thing that's really helping us make sense of everything. But y'all probably heard of that third eye, man, that inner vision that we got, man. And I think, I don't care who you are, I think you got some sort of a sense of common sense, some sort of, inner feeling of that ain't right going on. So you ain't necessarily got to call it a third eye if you don't want, but it's a pretty good, I think, phrase to help us understand that inner vision we got. And sometimes, you just got an idea that comes to you, or you got a solution you see, not even from looking around, but from just tuning in to your own awareness and your consciousness inside yourself. So pratyahara, it's one of the limbs of yoga, and I think that's another thing, man. People just think yoga is all about, downward dog, which, is good, but there's a lot more to yoga, man. It's a whole system. There's 8 limbs, and some of those limbs are just philosophical. Talk about the, what them called, the yamis and the niyamis, I believe. And that's like, being right with your inner and outer world. That's a different story. But pratyahara, one of the limbs, is simply a withdrawal of the senses. And what happens when you close your eyes and you start feeling your breathing is you start to, become a little more sensitive to what's going on the subtle realm. The subtle realm starts to become the main realm, and you start to see what is really going on here, Because I think it can get confusing, man. People start yelling, fighting, or, just kind of acting out of whack, and you don't know why they're doing that or what's going on, and they don't know even why they're doing what they're doing. They're just kind of reacting. We get real inflammatory, in our body and all this, pretty much stuff that's clogging our pipes. And then once your pipes are clogged, man, you got no flow, and you don't know what's going on. So you don't even have ability to act. You're only reacting because you ain't got the wits about you to act no more. You only have, your kind of just, you're not really steering the ship. You're kind of just, buckling down. And sometimes you got to buckle down and react to a situation. But I was talking about a few days ago, or a couple of episodes ago, man, creating, transmuting energy and, into a way where you're making better situations for yourself in the future. So I think when we get out of that mode of just reacting and start, being proactive toward making things how we want, we find ourselves in situations that we want a lot more often, So it's good to slow down to speed up. So you can't drive a race if your vision is blurry. And I think a lot of us are doing that, man. I think a lot of us, not only is our vision blurry, we're texting, while we're driving. We're drunk while we're driving. We don't got our glasses on, and we need glasses. Maybe you need some blue blockers. Highly recommend these suckers for driving at night. I swear it's made driving at night a whole new situation. I used to not like all those bright lights, and now it's like it feels like Christmas every night, when you're driving, and it's just nice warm lights. So yeah, highly recommend these guys. But slowing down to speed up. Get clear on what you want and where you're going by tuning into that subtle energy, man. Sometimes I think we do a bunch of stuff, and we're not really sure why we're doing it. Like, we might be trying to go to the bar every weekend, and we're drinking alone, and then it dawns on us, what is making me go to the bar and drink alone every weekend? And then we just realize we feel disconnected from ourselves and our community, so we're looking for some connection. So you ain't bad for going to the bar, but you just got to understand what's actually gonna, help you get what you want versus, just digging deeper into the doldrums, man, because them doldrums are real sticky, and it's like walking in molasses, man. It's real hard to get out of there, so you got to be mindful even when you get in the doldrums. And that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes we'll get in the doldrums, we won't even know we're in the doldrums. We're just pissed off, and so slowing down and listening to, our hearts, your farts, basically everything that's going on with you is really going to help you, just have a good time and be all right. And that's kind of what we're trying to do here, is we're just trying to be all right, have a good time, and enjoy the seas. I know there's going to be storms on the sea, man. That's the nature of the sea, but you ain't got to worry about none of that, because by the time that storm comes, after all this, good preparing that we've been doing with all this, exploratory sailing, we'll be able to handle that storm with the breeze. Man, it ain't no issue. Oh, good morning, filler.
That's right.
Yeah. You getting ready for work now?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Oh, hot dog. Man, that outfit's fly as heck. You gonna attract you one of them real pretty sailors with that outfit.
That's right. Hope she don't got no scurvy.
Oh, she ain't got that. She won't have that, no way. You ain't attracting that. Oh.
I'll give her them lemons.
Yep. Attaboy.
I'll inject her with them.
Nice.
All right, brother. I'll see you.
Have fun sailing, mate.
Nice. I'll be back around 5.
Cool. I think we might hit a pracky over at Lovettsville, because I'm going to have the whole setup over there.
Well played.
Yeah.
Try to remember bamboo if you can.
Oh, yeah. I will.
All right, brother.
Peace. That is a old city boy going off to work. Yeah, man, I think we need to start paying attention to the subcurrents of what's going on. Even with the political climate, and I ain't really trying to get into that too much, because it's a whole messy realm that I don't know, it gets kind of sticky when you're sailing in those waters, and I'm gonna just kind of maybe get into them a little bit, but not get in the middle of that, because that ain't my level of expertise. My expertise is, I'm a sailor, and I was bred to sail. That's what I'm doing, and looking for the booty, looking for the loot, And for me, I've been able to find a lot of that loot inside of my own chest, man. I think we all got a treasure chest inside, and it's just a matter of being willing to, swim through, ourselves, and to swim through, our pain and our confusion and our doubt and our insecurities. And I think underneath all that, that's uncomfortable. That, takes a lot of courage. You gotta be like, dang, I messed up, or, I don't feel right. And why do I not feel right? And, our normal kind of move that we do is we dodge that feeling, we sail away. And I think it's time, and I know I just said, I ain't trying to steer into the political realm. I guess that's just kind of different right now. I am willing to steer into that to an extent, but I just kind of want to stay on a personal level, I reckon, with you right now, and, keep it at that. But I think we need to be willing to, sail through ourselves. Because I think, once we do that, I think we're helping all the other realms, society, politics. We're helping all those things without even trying, because like I said, we're more equipped to handle a storm and handle what's going on. And, I think we can be our own best friend or our own worst enemy. And you got to ask yourself, are you pirating from yourself? Are you leeching your own energy without even realizing you're doing it? That's something to think about, man. Because I think a lot of us are doing that, whether it's, we're overdosing on caffeine or sugar, or, alcohol, or, TikTok, whatever it is we're overdosing on. I think it's, there's a right and a wrong dose, and it's called an overdose because it's too much. And you're going to go overboard if you keep overdosing on TikTok, And I think we need to start to find that treasure, that good that we're looking for. It needs to come from inside ourselves. Before we die, we release DMT in our brain. And a lot of people love DMT, man, but look at that. You got it right in your brain. We got the best loot factory right inside our brain. And I think it's about time we start learning how to utilize that and not neglect our own factory. But yeah, that's a little bit on subtle energy. Man, there's so much to say. What is, and I think spirituality is an important thing to talk about. Because, in my, humble opinion, some people say they ain't spiritual, or, they're Christian. And to me, a couple thoughts there. One, I think, being religious is being spiritual, man. It ain't different. You think Jesus wasn't spiritual? Someone explain to me how Jesus wasn't spiritual. If you're into that. Any religious figure. I think, that sense of subtle energy and, a sense of, something bigger going on also. Because the thing with subtle energy, at least in my belief, and pretty, feel pretty good about it, as above, so below. I think that microcosm is the same pattern of the universe expressed on a small level that's expressed on the macro, on the whole thing. So I think, tuning into something real small and fine, you just might learn about the whole universe. But also a thing with spirituality, I think it is just a matter of tuning in. I mean, I think, when we die, we like we get a little lighter, and maybe that's oxygen, something. But, when we die, our body is there. It ain't online. But where is the you part of that, Where is you when you die? And I'm trying to keep it together here, but some things are just freaking funny, man. So I think it's kind of undeniable that there's something more going on. Is what I'm saying here. There's something more essential to what you think you are than your body. And your spirit, your soul, call it what you like. But I think it's kind of funny when people say they ain't spiritual, because to me that's just and this is just my opinion, I guess. You can think whatever you want. I don't really care, but I think we're spiritual beings having a human experience in this body. I think we chose this experience in order to expand and grow our souls. Experiencing the contrast of the human experience. It ain't easy, but you do sure learn a lot. We learn how to navigate a lot of storms, as I was saying a second ago. So yeah, I don't know. To me, it's kind of undeniable. I think we're all spiritual. We're all spirits. I guess that's what the root of spiritual. We are spirits. There is a spirit to things, and I think we feel that on a lot of different levels outside of ourselves too. You go to a playground and you say, man, there's real good spirit to this playground. You don't even necessarily know what you're saying when you say that, but we all understand it. It feels good there. It feels right. Maybe like Christmas, like, man, the spirits are really in the air. And I think it's funny how sometimes we say stuff like that and we don't even really either believe it or we know what we're talking about. But it's happening. So I think it's time to, and I'm feeling more and more comfortable about saying what's happening. I used to feel weird about, talking about, God or, spirituality, because instantly you bring it up and it's woo woo, man. But I think it's more like whoop whoop, man. I'm having a real good time exploring these seas, man. I think, it's only making my life better, because once I understand, the kind of fundamental nature of reality, I can really sail with that pretty good. And I ain't saying I understand everything. I'm kind of aware. I don't know most things, actually, but there's some stuff that I'm really locking in on, or maybe not locking in on, but I'm getting right with. And I think we got to learn to have right relationship with the nature of things, because if we don't, we're going to be constantly running into problems and issues. And I just want things to be all right for myself and for you and everyone else. I think it's such a cool opportunity we have to get all right on Earth here. And yeah, just really, I'm just fired up by what we can't see with our eyes. you know. And, you know, I love a beautiful woman as much as the next guy. But what really, you know, keeps that flame going if you are to, you know, have a relationship ain't have much to do with the looks at all in the long run. It's how you interact. It's how you relate. It's how you, you know, vibe with each other. That's really what keeps things alive and keeps it, you know, freaking fun and just right. So yeah, man, I want to bring a spirituality to a greater to the people. I think you know, I think people are associating more as spiritual and disassociating from organized religion. And I think we need to not think of that as so separate, man. Just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you can't, you know, go to church and sing hallelujah. And just because you're going to church and singing about hallelujah doesn't mean you can't, you know, meditate or go to yoga class or do a cacao ceremony. It's all tied together, man. Jesus was saying that all along, you know, welcome everybody, man. I don't know why we love excluding people so much and separating ourselves. And I think that's real, you know, to get into politics a little bit. I think that's a real issue we got in politics is, you know, we can't even agree on a single thing because we're so decided on how separate we are. And I think that's a real disservice to our country and the people when there are things we do all agree on, but because we're so dug into whatever our party is, we don't want to accept that. No matter what, we're putting down our other party, and I think that ain't right. You know, I'm trying to find common ground, and I think we need to focus on that quite a bit more than, you know, bullying each other, because we want to be more right and we want to, you know, our party to win. You know, we're on the same team, man. We're one people. We're one freaking people. Not even in this country. All over the world, we're one people, man. And I think we start seeing that more and more, you know, when we practice tuning in to subtle energy and when we, you know, cleanse our bodies and our minds so we can actually tell what's going on and we're not so disillusioned by our senses. You know, man. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just some thoughts on spirituality. I might retry that. There's a lot to say about that. Maybe just keep it on going. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. I really, you know, I'm curious where other people are at.